Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited, one, to just be sitting down to film. I feel like I really have not filmed much over the last 2 months. I am getting towards the very end of my pregnancy and it's just hard to motivate myself to like, one, sit down long enough to do my makeup, but then like after sitting down long enough to do my makeup, it becomes so uncomfortable to just then film. And I feel like I'm always out of breath. I feel like I'm always exhausted, and I apologize that there's been a lack of content. My due date is St. Patrick's Day, so content may be a little bit sporadic from now until, I'm gonna say, sometime in April, and then I'm really hoping to get back to a regular filming schedule. If I can before then, great. I just don't want to promise anything. I know a bunch of you have reached out just with well wishes and just asking how I'm doing or if I'm doing okay, and I really appreciate just all the kind messages and the concern and just the reaching out with your kind words. So wanted to take a quick minute to say that, but I'm really excited because today's going to be my first update in my rolling Project 10 pan for 2026. I'm doing 26 and 2026, but I'm doing it rolling Project 10 pan style. So my ultimate goal is to finish 26 products, but I have 4 long haul products that I'm working on and then 6 kind of easier or like seasonal products that I'm hoping I can finish in a shorter time frame. And I'm really excited because I do actually have 2 rollouts to share with you today, meaning we'll be bringing in 2 new products. So if you are interested, stay tuned. First, if you haven't yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project panning content, palette themed content, or just hanging out and chit chatting about makeup, I'd love if you consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. Before we jump into all of my progress, I am even more excited to say that this video is in partnership with my favorite brand to work with, and that is Ana Luisa. I'm partnering with them to share details of their current promotion, which is 25% off their entire website. And what perfect timing with Valentine's Day just around the corner. Whether you are asking for a gift from a partner, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whether you're looking for Galentine's Day gifts, I know my daughter is expecting a boo basket, so whatever reason you may have to be buying jewelry right now, Ana Luisa is my favorite and pretty much the only brand that I buy jewelry from. You guys already know, if you're longtime subscribers, I always talk about Ana Luisa's exceptional quality. Their pieces are backed by a 2-year warranty and they keep their prices affordable. I don't know if I've ever been more excited about my most recent Ana Luisa haul. So I have 3 new items to share with you. The first, and I feel like I have a good selection too. I have earring, a necklace, and rings, which I'm shocked that I was able to get the rings to fit on a finger today. Anyway, let's start with these earrings. You guys know I am literally obsessed with a checkered print, and so perfect. These are the Eden earrings, and I don't know if I could be more obsessed. I like that they're like little, like they kind of just hug the ear, but I also feel like they truly do make a statement, especially if I was doing like a low slick back bun to like work. I feel like these earrings just can like really elevate a look or like make a look pop. I work in a dental office and I feel like these earrings could make me go from like, if I didn't have them on, to like someone just sitting there in the lobby being like, okay, she's just like the annoying receptionist making me do my e-check-in, to like, these earrings are on and they're like, okay, where did she get those sparkly pretty things from? Then I also have a new necklace. This is the Lev necklace, and I feel like this is the perfect piece for this time of year. I'm actually considering buying, I should say it's quietly because I'm with my daughter. I'm considering buying this for her boo basket because I just feel like this is something she would really love too. Obviously I'm in like a long sleeve sweatshirt crew neck sort of situation today, but in the summertime too, when like I'm exposing like my décolleté a little bit more, I feel like this is just such a cute little statement without being like too much. And then by far my favorite accessories, I love rings. Most of my rings don't fit right now, but I have had my eye on the Celine double for years at this point in time and just haven't like bitten the bullet and gone with those Celine double. I absolutely love it. Like, I absolutely love this. Once my Ultra Human ring fits again, I feel like this is going to be such a good layering stack with my Ultra Human, or honestly any other rings that I currently have in my collection. I have so many rings from Ana Luisa. I love all of them. You guys know I always talk about my snake ring, which I think is the Chloe ring. I could be wrong. No, maybe my Chloe is, no, that's the Roen Quad. I have so many rings that I love from them. I've been wearing Ana Luisa jewelry for I think 6 years at this point in time. And my first ever piece from them, my mama necklace, I still wear to this day. I don't have issues with it tarnishing. I have worn it for several weeks at a time. I've worn it in the pool, I've worn it in the hot tub, I've worn it in the shower. I don't have issues with tarnishing. Their quality really just does astonish and amaze me. So if you have had your eye on anything, now is the perfect time to buy because their entire website is 25% off. I will leave a link to their website down below. It is not a commissionable link, but it does let you know that you came from clicking my link, which I really appreciate anyone who shops through any of my links. Thank you guys for continuing to support me and continuing to give me opportunities to work with brands like Ana Luisa. I am so appreciative. And if you do end up purchasing anything, or if you have a favorite Ana Luisa piece, let us all know in the comments below what you recommend. Thank you again to Ana Luisa for partnering with me on this portion of today's video. Now let's get into all of my progress. One other thing before we jump into my progress is my background might change back and forth a bit for a while. Just roll with the punches with me on this one. I just want to film and get content up, but I'm still figuring out my new space, and I might be bopping back and forth between a couple different backgrounds. Bear with me. All right, I know I said it was rolling Project 10 pan, but I actually have an 11th product because for the 3rd year in a row, I am working on one of my Roen Quads. This is my last remaining Roen Quad in my collection. I actually don't think that these exist anymore, which makes me really sad. I do still have my Roen Mood Forever because I am trying to finish 2 shades in that, but I have the 1111 here, which is going to be my focus throughout all of 2026. And I kicked it off with some strong progress right away. Let me tell you, I barely wore, I don't want to say I barely wore makeup this past month, but I really wasn't wearing a ton of makeup. And I definitely was doing literally nothing with my eyeshadow except for the days that I did a little something. I popped one of these shades on my eyes. I will post a little video clip of what this palette was looking like when I rolled this in at the introduction. And then I will show you guys that this is what this is currently looking like. So minimal progress. I will say when I whipped this into the project, does that even make sense? Probably not. when I pulled this in, it didn't have a ton of use. I think maybe these 2 shades had a couple of uses, but these 2, I don't even know if these had been touched. So now every single shade in this palette has been touched a little bit. I can definitely see some disturbance in like this shade. I mean, I can see a little bit of disturbance in every shade. Is the progress like great right now? No, but we're gonna continue to chug along. I did end up reaching for this quad 11 total times, which makes me really happy. My goal, I think, would be I would love to get like 150 uses out of this quad this year. And of course, I would love to hit pan on every single shade. One other thing I will note about this is I do feel like, and this is older in my collection, I do feel like these shades are a little bit drier than my other Roen Quads that I have reached for in the past. Although I will say the more consistently I use this, I think like my finger like heats it up a little bit and then it's easier to use, but I have noticed the shades just feel a little bit drier than I'm used to. So reach for this 11 times. This shade up here, my favorite shade in the entire quad, this really beautiful icy pink, I reached for the most. I did reach for this a total of 7 times. The shade right next to it, this darker shade, I reached for 3 total times. And actually, this is not as intimidating as I thought. I can really sheer this out to kind of just be like this ethereal, sparkly lid shade. And I've worn this both on its own, and I've also topped this on top of it as well. So I think I'll continue to find ways to mix and match and kind of layer these shades as well to get more use out of. This shade down here, I reached for a total of 4 times, and then I did reach for this shade right here 3 total times. So that's my update with this one. I'd love to get 12 to 15 uses on this in the month of February. Again, I am tired most mornings, so I'm not doing the most with my eyeshadow, especially when I'm going to work. And this is just something really quick, simple, and easy to reach for. I want to continue to reach for this and just get a ton of use out of it because I have a feeling the second half of the year, I might be more excited about my entire eyeshadow palette collection and just having a lot more fun doing more with my eyeshadow. So right now when I'm tired and not looking to do the most, I want to get as much use as possible on this quad. All right, now let's jump into the 4 products that I am considering my more long haul products. These are products that I think will take me more than just this season or more than just 3 months to finish up. Although I will say I'm really excited about the progress on a few of the items. So let's jump into my Fenty Beauty bronzer first. This is the one I'm feeling most promising. I'm feeling like the progress is most promising. So I did give myself the goal to finish this up. This is something I do want to finish hopefully by like the end of April. I have not self-tanned in over 6 months at this point in time. I literally can't wait to jump back into self-tanning. It's just not worth it at this point in time for me. I cannot wait to self-tan though. And this is one of the lightest bronzers in my collection. It is in the shade Into Sun. It's the lightest like bronzer within the range. It's the oldest. It is also the oldest bronzer in my collection, so I am really wanting to get this out. I have almost completely uncovered that first ring, which makes me really excited. I was hoping to have that full ring uncovered, but obviously that didn't happen. I'll be really curious to look back and see the progress on this one, just because in my mind, every single day I'm reaching for this and I'm like, ugh, I feel like this isn't moving at all, this isn't moving at all, this isn't moving at all. So I'll be curious if I look back at the progress, if I feel like it has moved. But for some reason, I feel like it's been the same part of this ring that's just been covered up this entire time. So we'll see. We'll see. This is something that anytime I was doing my makeup, I pretty much primarily reached just for this bronzer. So it definitely did get a lot of use, but there's still a long ways to go with this one. This next product is the absolute bane of my existence. I think I have been working on this in every single project possibly since like 2020 or 2021. So it's an older product in my collection. It's my Ilia eyeliner in the shade Dusk. I am really excited because I do feel like there was a bit of movement with this. And when I say a bit, I mean the teeniest, tiniest amount. But I do get really nervous because when I roll this all the way up, like such, this is how much I have left, which like really doesn't look like a whole lot. But when I hold up this this amount of product to the amount of progress I saw all of last year, I would technically still have like a little bit of this left at the end of this year. And I pretty much reached for this every single time I did my makeup last year, with the exception obviously of sometimes. Now I will say, and I shouldn't point this out because I feel like it's not well blended into my hairline, I tried to use this to fill in my hairline right here today. So I may end up using this product to like fill my hair in and then switch over to a different eyeliner. This is just getting quite old. I actually do have this in my waterline today, and I will say I put it in my waterline before doing it in my hairline. I feel like some people are gonna be like, now that it's touched your hair, you definitely shouldn't use it in the waterline, which is probably true. I just feel like I'm kind of sick of this in the waterline, even though it is just like a dark brown liner. I'm just so over this pencil because I've been working on it for so long, but I am bound and determined to finish this. So it could potentially go a little bit faster if I am using it to fill in my hairline. We'll see. We'll just have to see what happens with this. Another frequent flyer in this project is my Merit Beauty Blush Balm. This is in the shade Beverly Hills. I actually do have this on my cheeks today, mixed with one of the Huda Beauty liquid blushes, also layered on top Makeup by Mario blush. So like there's a lot happening on the cheeks, but I am so close to being flush with the packaging here. Once I'm flush with the packaging, I'll still use a brush to see how much I can get out. But I have seen one other person pan this, and once you kind of reach the packaging is like a pinwheel, and so it just doesn't look like it's going to be a very pleasant product to like, just not about like digging the product out. I don't need to take it that far. I take the stoppers out of my lip glosses and pan those to full completion as much as I can. And every panner can do whatever they want and however they want to empty their products out. When it comes to blush, I don't care to like be scraping everything out from the very bottom with a spatula. That's just not my journey. So I actually feel like the end could be closer than I think with this one. This is another one that's perfect for right now for me. Not every day I'm doing foundation, but sometimes I do want just like a little bit of color on my face, or just like a little bit of dimension, something to just make me look not so dead and corpsey, and this is perfect for that. I feel like I've been panning this for several years at this point in time as well, which I have been, so I'm kind of just ready for this one to be done. Fingers crossed, I'm hoping this one maybe could be done by the end of March too, which really would make it more of a seasonal product, but I don't get my hopes up with this because, again, I've been panning this for such a long time as well. And then the final long haul product that I have is my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base Primer. Now I feel like done a decent job of reaching for this. I've kind of been using this as a morning time moisturizer, not every single day, but on the days that I do remember to reach for it as a moisturizer, I have been reaching for it that way. And I feel like there is like a really good dip going into this product. I do have a whole nother full jar of this, so I want to finish this one up this year. It's just, you don't need a lot of this product to put on your face and hydrate your face. And I also am someone who prefers a gripping primer. That is why I'm trying to use this as a morning time moisturizer to actually get use out of it, because even on days that I am reaching for this, I am typically going over top of this with another primer. Right now I've been testing out the Maybelline Grippy Primer, which I've really been enjoying, but I'm never, I shouldn't say never, but rarely am I reaching for this as a standalone primer. I think this will take at least 6 months yet to finish up. But nevertheless, I just hope to have this as an empty at some point this year. I did also forget to mention, in order to hit my goal of 26 empties by the end of the year, I need to pan about it's like 2.1 products per month. Obviously some months maybe I'll be more successful, some months I might not be as successful, but that is what we need to do to hit 26 empties, which I am nervous about because I don't remember the last time I even hit like 20 empties in a rolling Project 10 pan, but I am trying to be strategic, so we'll see. That brings me to the other 6 products that are more seasonal products for me. I will say there's one product I can't find right now, and it is my Wherever Walnut lip liner from Makeup Forever. I'm not going to replace that product yet because I'm sure it will pop up, but I don't have that to show you. If I do find it before I post this video, I'll post a picture here of my progress, but right now I cannot find that one. So then I have 5 products, 3 of which I'm still working on, 2 of which are empties, which I'm so excited about. So let's start with the products I'm still working on. I have my Fenty Gloss Bomb, the Heat one in the shade Hot Cherry. I have it on my lips today. This might be one of 2 days that I reach for this month. I'm gonna pop just a little bit more on. This, oh my gosh, someone left such a funny comment about this. I wish I could remember what it was. Oh, it was about how I need to finish this before I have my child, because I cannot be kissing a child with this on my lips because it will be hot and burning. So my goal is for this to be my lip gloss in the month of February. As uncomfortable and as painful as that might be, it's not like painful, it's just not the most comfortable lip gloss. It definitely has like a hot sensation to it, or like a spicy sensation that isn't my favorite, but I've also been trying to finish this for so freaking long. This is where I marked this at the last update, and I don't think that there's been enough movement to make a new line marking. I am just really hopeful. I don't know that this would be quite done, even if I reach for this almost every day. I don't know that this would be quite done by the next update, but I think we can be really, really close. I just want this gone. I want this gone so bad. So this is my February lip gloss, okay? Then I have my ABH Impeccable Foundation, Blurring Second Skin Foundation. I will say the majority of January, if I was reaching for foundation, I was trying to finish up a Dior foundation that is now an empty, which you'll see in my makeup rehab update, as well as I was mixing it with actually one of my empties, which is my Charlotte Tilbury concealer. So I really didn't start reaching for this until like the last like week and a half or so. This is the foundation that I have on my skin today, mixed with the Glossier Future Dew, and even holding this up to the light, like I really can't tell where I'm at, but I will say at one point there was like heavy windowing at least halfway through this. I kind of want to take, I'm probably gonna regret this, I kind of want to take just the pump out just to see if I can look in. Oh, okay, should I guesstimate? I'm gonna guesstimate I'm about halfway through this. Dang, I really thought I was closer than that. This might take me a little bit longer than the end of March to finish up, but that's okay. This is a foundation that I did include on my 26 I want to pan in 2026, so I do really want to focus on finishing this one up. It is a foundation that I did purchase last year, so it's not my like oldest foundation in my collection. However, one, I thought I was closer to finishing this, and two, it's not my favorite, but it is a really nice foundation to wear to work. Although I do feel like it does start to wear off halfway through the day. Anyway, I just want to finish this. I like it enough to pan it, but it's definitely not something that I personally would repurchase for myself. So this is where I'm at. I will be really curious to see where the progress is like next month, because I will primarily focus on this one, I think, throughout the next month. So I'll be curious to see how much use I can actually get on this, and then from there I'll be able to make a better determination on whether or not I truly can finish this by the end of March. I'm still thinking probably not, probably maybe end of May, we'll see. Nevertheless, goal is to finish that. And then the final product before we get into my 2 empties, I'm really excited about the progress with this one. This is my What's Up Beauty Wind Dancer Pressed Setting Powder, and I did have a really healthy pan going into this project, but now this is where we are at. I have made so much progress. I do feel like I need to repress this at this point in time, but I wanted to film this update before repressing, so obviously I will take a picture right after I repress this. However, I do think after I repress this, I feel like this could potentially be an empty by next update. I will say this first month of the year, I basically had this like travel bag with me, and I've pretty much primarily just use the products in that bag. I haven't been like cycling through my collection that much, and honestly at this point in time I'm so exhausted that having not as many choices in the morning has been good for me. So I'm okay with this right now. I think again the latter half of this year I'm definitely going to jump back into my collection and have a lot more fun playing with it, but right now I'm kind of just enjoying every day just reaching for the same products, which has allowed me to have progress like this. Once I finish this, I will jump right back into my Kosas Cloud Set Powder, which is my favorite for all over the face. But I will say I have really enjoyed this one from What's Up Beauty. It still makes my skin look like skin. It doesn't make me look totally flat or totally matte, but it does a really nice job of locking in my foundation and helping make my foundation last as long as possible, get me through a work day, and I've really enjoyed it for that. So this is something that if this isn't an empty by the next update, I do truly think this will be an empty by the end of March, which will be really exciting. I have so many powders in my collection, so it'll be wonderful to get through a powder. Now I just need to not buy another powder. So that's my progress there. All right, my 2 empties I actually don't have with me here, so I'll have to post a picture of them. They are 2 empties. They're true empties, I promise. And if I remember next update, I can also share them. But I have my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Radiant Concealer as an empty, which I am so happy to have this as an empty. I actually primarily used this as a foundation this past month. I was mixing it with my Glossier Future Dew, and then usually 1 pump of my Dior foundation, and that was working really well for me. The Charlotte Tilbury Magic Radiant Concealer used to be one of my absolute favorites, but it's just looking a little bit too heavy underneath my eyes these days. I'm definitely growing more and more self-conscious of my under eyes as I'm getting more wrinkles and more crinkles and just getting older, and I just wasn't finding that it was flattering underneath my eyes, so I repurposed it as a foundation, if you will, and that's how I was able to empty it up. I'm very excited to have a concealer empty. My concealer collection is actually pretty manageable. I'd like to get through a couple more before I really start to try and find the concealers that are going to work best for me, but I think I'm down to like maybe 5 concealers, which makes me really happy. And then the second empty is my Bobbi Brown highlighter in Pink Glow. Now this rolled into its first project pan, I believe back in 2018. It is a mini. I had repressed this, and this is something that just became so crumbly. I did not do a great job of repressing. I tried to repress it again, and it just became so crumbly after repressing it that it got so messy. Every time I used it, there was so much powder. And so actually I was using this, a bunch kind of spilled out into my bag, but I'm counting this as an empty. I was using it the majority of this month, and I really tried to use it right up until the end. I got so much use out of this highlight. This is absolutely something that I would buy again. I was hoping you could still buy it in a mini. It was available in a mini for a really long time, but I don't see it available as a mini right now, and I think the full size is like $48. I do also feel like I've seen this at like TJ Maxx or Marshalls before, and if I saw Pink Glow specifically at a TJ Maxx or Marshalls in a full size, I would buy it. Otherwise, I'd rather have a mini. I have plenty of highlighters right now, so I'm not like gonna go out and repurchase right away, but if I did see this available as a mini again, I would buy it. It is such a beautiful pink highlight. I love a pink highlight, and this truly has remained a favorite for me, like one of my probably top 5 highlights in my entire collection since purchasing it and having it in my collection since like 2017 or 2018. So sad to see it go, but also really proud to have finally finished that. And so that brings me to the 2 additional products that I will be rolling in. Technically, these would be 2 products to replace more seasonal or short-term products. And so I have 2 products. One I don't think will be an empty by the end of March, but one could be. So to replace my highlight, I'm going to roll in a liquid highlighter, and I'm going to roll in my Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Elevated Glow liquid highlight. I rolled this in, or I shouldn't say I rolled this in, I put this in the makeup bag that I've been using, and I've actually been really good about reaching for this just about every single day, whether it be under my foundation, whether I'm not wearing foundation, I just tap a little bit of this on my cheeks. It gives such a beautiful, glassy, healthy skin glow to the cheeks. I've really enjoyed this. And during my declutter, I almost decluttered this and I couldn't get myself to do it. And I was like, I need to either like use this up or declutter it, because I do feel like this one is getting to the point where it's going to turn. I don't have a ton of it left, maybe about a third, but I do feel like the bottle starts to get a little bit smaller as we go down just a little bit. So I really do think if I consistently continue to wear this for the next couple of months, this could be an empty by the end of March or kind of beginning of April. We'll see at my April update, when it technically would be like the seasonal changeover, what I want to do and how many empties I have, how many products I've worked my way through. If I'm truly going to rotate anything out, we'll see at that time. But I'm hopeful that maybe I could finish this in the next 2 months. We'll see. And then to replace my concealer, I'm actually not going to replace it with an actual concealer. I'm going to replace it with this REM Beauty Cooling Blurring Under Eye Balm. I purchased this maybe halfway through 2025 because I've been really self-conscious of my under eyes, and I was reaching for it quite a bit when I first got it and then kind of forgot about it. But again, I put it in the makeup bag I've been using to get ready, and I feel like I've done a decent job at reaching for this. But recently I purchased all of the REM quads, which I actually will have a video on soon. And in my order, I ordered directly off of the REM website. They included the Energizing Full Night Sleep Eye of this. I know the 2 are different, but they're like also kind of the same. So I'd like to just finish this up, and this is where I'm at. I feel like it looks like I'm about halfway through with this, although I do feel like the pot, I feel like there's a lot still in here. And I just want to give myself that extra motivation and encouragement to make sure I am remembering to reach for this every single day. And I feel like if I'm tracking my progress on that, it will motivate and encourage me to make sure I'm reaching for this. I do feel like this does. So typically I'll go in with my skincare and then I'll put this underneath my eyes before I go in with any of my like makeup or foundation, obviously. And I do feel like it gives like the slightest amount of blur underneath my under eyes. And days that I am reaching for this, I feel a little less self-conscious of my under eyes. So this is going to be the product that I'm rolling in. I feel like this could take several months to finish up. But we're just gonna see how far we can make it with this and how quickly I can pan this. And after that, I feel like I've actually been filming forever for this rolling Project 10 pan update. So if you're still with me, thank you so much. Let me know what products, if any, you have already panned this year or emptied out. Let a girl know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.